Hey you guys, it's Britt. Tonight we have a really important update on the page, the Resilient Jenkins. Steph and Drew decided to jump on a live stream and make a complete fool out of themselves. And she ended up running off the live stream because she was called out for using the N-word. But we're going to go over some clips, and I also want to talk about another mother who is local to Portland. And this mother's son goes to school with one of the Jenkins children. And it kind of sheds some light on, obviously not everything is hunky-dory. Not everything is good in this household, but either way, we're going to allow her to speak, and then we're going to jump over to the live stream where it just all fell apart. So this might be a little bit of a longer video, but if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so first let's listen to this video from Kitty Ferragamo. And she talks about how her child goes to school with one of the Jenkins children, and something very interesting that her child has picked up on. And so either way, before I babble, let's listen to what she had to say.
Okay, so I just want to make a post really fast because I was just on Facebook and TikTok and all this stuff, and then I of course come across Resilient Jenkins or whatever their name is, and I'm just watching the videos. You know, mind you, my son is 7. My middle son, he's 7 years old. He has this little friend at school who he's been begging for this boy to come over and spend the night at our house. You know, he always takes lunch for the kid. You know, whatever, like shares the snacks with him and shit. You know, because they have snack time. And the teacher has to buy the snacks herself. And so, like, my son would always pack extra snacks for kids who couldn't have snacks. Well, the teacher, my son's like, he wants the boy to come over so bad. And I'm like, okay, well, we'll think about it. You know, you need to clean your room, you know, because, you know, you're not cleaning your room. I'm not going to have people over at our house if you don't want to clean your room. You want to push stuff under the bed all the time. So, you know, I'm just like making the normal, things. Never in a million years would I be sitting here on TikTok watching fucking TikTok and my son leans over and says, that's my friend that I want to come over and spend the night, and it's motherfucking Resilient Jenkins' son. Not her son, it's her Andrew's son. My son is friends with her son, and he wants him to come spend the night at our house because, you know, he just wants him to come spend the night at our house. So then I show my son the TikToks. Y'all, when I tell you my son was super sad and said he made sure to say that he's going to go to school on Monday and try to have this little boy come spend the night and hang out with him more. My son was like, they're TikTok famous, but then my son says, why doesn't he have his own room? Why doesn't he have a bed? Like, why are they sleeping on the floor? My son's like, what the fuck? Because mind you, I'm a single mom of 3 kids. I have a 3-bedroom. Like, I have a 3-bedroom apartment. They have their own rooms. They have their own beds. And I know the CPS will flip out if your kids don't have their own bed. So it's really crazy to me how they don't have a bed and they're in this apartment. Like,
let's talk for a quick second about empathetic children. If you're raising your children to be empathetic and be able to pick up on other children that might not be having a really good day or a good week, or they might need a friend, or they might need a snack, or just somebody to hang out with during the day when they're in school. If you can teach your children empathy, that is one of the absolute best things, to have an empathetic child, especially at 7 years old. That is so young for a child to be able to pick up on, this kid needs more food and I want him to have fun and come to my house because I feel that that might be something good for him if I invite him to come to my house. Empathy in kids is very important, especially in this world.
you know, I know there is no help. There is no funding in Oregon. I'm in the same boat, you know, struggling with our rent and shit because there is no funding to help with your rent and stuff. But that's a 2-parent household. They can both go to work. And her kids go to school with my kids. I know for a fact that they have, up the street from that school, there is a daycare that will take your kids. You know, you can drop them off and it's right on 142nd in Division. I had my baby in that daycare until he got into all-day preschool at the very school our kids go to, and my son's 4. So I'm just saying, it's a small fucking world. Portland, especially itself, is way too small to be running around being that reckless. Like, girl, you had me get up out of my bed and make this TikTok because I couldn't believe how small Portland was. The fact that they are in the same class sharing snacks together is fucking sad. And you know the one thing that my son asked me to? Why does he have scars all over his legs? And then I read on here, I'm doing a little bit more deep dive. I learned that there's lice and fleas over there. Are you kidding me? What the fuck? That poor fucking, them poor motherfucking kids. Poor fucking kids. This is not throwing shade at this specific person alone. I'm not throwing shade at none of you guys. But I want to make it very, very clear with you guys that I already knew she wasn't going to probably let her son come spend the night. She hasn't let him come over this entire time. My son and her son have been friends for 2 years. They've had the same teacher for 2 years. They've been friends for a long time. My son is the clown. Her son is the sweet angel of the two. They're like Sour Patch Kids. My son is the sour, he's the sweet one. I knew the backlash that I was going to face with this video, and I don't care. I'm still going to continue to reach out. I'm still going to continue to try and be a safe space for that child. And I'm still going to feed those kids. I'm going to feed everybody. I will feed everybody. If you were homeless and you were starving, come find me at Metro on Powell. I will feed you. I don't care. But at the end of the day, it needs to be known that I see you, and I still want to help.
She's raising her children right. Her son is going to be a really good friend to a lot of people. He's already being that, but I can see him being actually resilient as he gets older, unlike this trash can bin of a father and mother that we're watching over here on the Jenkins. So let's jump into the live stream. There are several of these videos. I'm going to try to limit my interruptions. Let's start with part 1.
Why did you think this moment is the moment that took off personally for you?
I honestly couldn't tell you. I mean, I can look back at my videos just even 3 months ago and definitely see a difference in my editing.
Okay.
It's gotten better.
Okay.
And I took the time to kind of get some people off my list that were just watching my stuff but not giving support. I feel like kind of made a difference too.
Okay.
I really couldn't tell you why it was this video. It was no different than our normal content.
Okay. So you've been, this style of content has been what you've been making the entire time.
Number 1, I can tell you why that video went viral. It's because it was showing you being a negligent parent. Outright. It was fully on display. It pissed a lot of people off, and that's how people discovered you. They didn't discover you because you make some kind of heartwarming or positive content. It's because you were showing negligence. Number 2, removing people that were watching her videos but not supporting. What on earth does that mean? Watching your videos but not supporting. So watching your videos is not enough? What do you want them to send you a weekly allowance? Because you're posting your negligent parenting on TikTok? I could never imagine going through my subscriber list and saying, okay, well, this person, they're watching my videos, but they're not leaving me enough comments. They're not stroking my ego enough, so I'm going to get them out of here. What a weird way to say that you're trying to sit here and make content. You're not receiving the kind of support that you think you're entitled to. What do you want them to do?
That's the bigger question. Okay, very good, very good, very good. All right, we're gonna jump into the real questions now. There is rumor. Rumor has it that this is not your real last name. They're claiming that you're not actually married. Can you speak to that?
I mean, I think I kind of plan to do like a live of my own and kind of give a rundown for people, but I feel like at this rate, everybody wants to know a little slice of it, and it's kind of like, why would I just kind of toss it up for free?
Okay, so you don't want to. And again, any question that you don't want to answer is fine. So you don't want to answer. You don't want to answer.
Toss it up for free. So are you selling tickets to this live stream so that people have to pay to get the information that that they're requesting from you? Here's my thing. If there is a blatant lie being spread viral, like it's going super viral and I know that it's not true, I'm going to take the first opportunity to debunk it and prove that it's a lie so that I can move on with creating content and making sure that people aren't out there believing something that is in fact not true about me. I am not going to say, oh, well, everyone wants a slice of it and I'm not going to give it up for free. This woman is so diabolically obsessed with money and attention that it's actually scary. It is actually scary. And I've come across a lot of influencers during my time on YouTube, but this woman is definitely, like, as far as the worst of the worst, top 5.
That's your real name, last name or not?
No, that's something I gotta dive deep into. So
Okay, not a problem, not a problem. There is also a rumor floating that you're the person you're actually married to is a S offender. Is there any truth to that?
I mean, that to me, it's not something I could.
It seems like you would want to clear things up like that. You know what I mean? Again, I've had many, many viral moments, and the last thing I want to do is have false information just floating around the internet if it's something that I can easily refute.
I think I've shared a couple of posts regarding my ex-husband.
She can't refute it because it's true. We've seen his rap sheet. We've seen his criminal history. He started getting into trouble at the age of 13 years old because he was stealing cameras off of churches. That's what his rap sheet started out with. And then him essaying his own mother and serving 6 months in juvie for it. And then being released from juvie to be going into his high school where none of the students and none of the parents knew that he was an SO. And he went on to then SA another student. And then things got even worse and dark and all of the things.
In the past, and he does have a pretty vicious record, but he's in jail currently.
Okay, and I'm sorry to hear that. You know what I mean?
He's in jail currently, but you went ahead and reproduced with him anyway, knowing that he was an awful individual. And now you're on TikTok trying to play the victim.
Again, I'm not here to judge. I'm just asking the questions. And again, anyone you don't want to ask is absolutely fine with me. The people are asking, do you actually receive child support for your previous children?
No, I don't actually.
Okay, you don't, and that's the thing that I hate. I hate that people get on this app and just automatically just make assumptions about people. I'm like, just because people live a certain way, it didn't automatically mean that they're well. Everybody on this app is a welfare queen. So thank you so much for clearing that one up.
Yeah.
She has partaken in fraudulent activity. That is why she's not, and she's grifting on TikTok instead.
With regards to the 1 bedroom and the number of children, I hope you enjoyed the math lesson that I gave these people, because how in God's name did these people come up with you have 6 children with 1 on the way?
Yeah, I had no idea.
It was the most ridiculous thing I think I have ever heard in my life. I'm like, she clearly said we are a family of 6 going on 7. And I've sat there and then even after I did the math for them, there were still people in the comments arguing against it. Have you received any of those threats? Because they were threatening even on my video to call CPS on you. Do you have any concerns about people threatening to call CPS based on your living situation or the fact that you're exposing yourself and your family in that way?
If they're gonna call, they're gonna call. It's not something we're fearful of.
Imagine saying that you're not fearful of having CPS knock on your door. Because I'm not a parent of human children, but I can say that just the idea of having CPS in my atmosphere would be something that I want to avoid, because I am a good parent and I'm going to do everything to protect my children. I would not want anything to do with CPS. But she knows that she's not being a good parent and she's acting as if she's unbothered. But anyone with, 2 brain cells to rub together would know that having CPS involved in you or your children's lives is really bad.
Okay. Be fearful for.
Okay, Very good. Do you have any with regards to your landlord? I don't know what the laws are in your state, but are there rules? Are there rules against the number of people that should be living in a 1 bedroom apartment? You don't. I can't speak to it because I don't live in the same state as you.
Yeah, there is laws, and she's aware of it.
Okay.
So she's saying that her landlord is okay that they are breaking the law. That is literally what she is saying. So here it says the Fair Housing Council of Oregon recommends that landlords use an occupancy standard of 2+1, which means 2 people per bedroom plus 1 additional person. For example, a 2-bedroom unit would have a maximum of 5 occupants. And a 3-bedroom unit would have a maximum of 7 occupants. So based on these laws, they should actually, since she's literally about to have a baby, they should be heading into a 3-bedroom unit. They are too big for a 2-bedroom unit. And they are sitting here in a 1-bedroom unit, and she's trying to say that her landlord is aware of it and knows what's going on and is okay with breaking the law. The Oregon law, she is throwing it in the garbage bin. That is what she is saying right now.
So they're okay. See, so in that moment, so if there is a law against it, do you think it's still worth it to potentially put your family at risk in that way? That is the bigger question.
I think that
Because nobody would have known had you not done the video. You see do you understand where I'm getting at?
Yeah, but I get curious. Where was their interest in it 3 years ago? Because it's been our situation for 2.5 years.
Okay.
You know, and technically when I moved in with him, we were already over numbers, and it's kind of just we've tried to do what we can, but you know, situation just kept us here. And like I said, the people who could come at us for it already know, and even at school, they're well aware of our living situation. So
okay,
let's touch on the thing of 2.5 years. This has been their situation, and they've done their best, and the situation kept them there. What has kept you there? Is it the fact that you refuse to work? Is it the fact that you're a bum of a boyfriend? Because now we know you're not married, but your bum of a boyfriend refuses to work a W-2 job because he thinks that he is worth over $30 an hour, despite not having any resume to back up asking for $30 an hour, because he has jumped from industry to industry. Is it the fact that you spend all your money on trees? Is it the fact that y'all are expecting people to just feel bad for you and not call things into question, and you've kind of skated on that while you wait to go viral on TikTok so that people on the internet can pay your way? Because that is a very bad idea, to put your children's well-being in the hands of virality on social media is absolutely reckless. Okay, let's move over to part 3. This clip is only a minute long.
Do they have people at the schools that are recognizing that you are the family that's blowing up on the internet for this reason, or how are they handling this?
So far, they haven't mentioned anything. I have asked them just to, out of curiosity, make sure they still feeling safe and everything. And yeah, they said nobody's.
Well, let's wait until Kitty's son goes to school this week and goes to his teacher and says, I saw my friend on TikTok and this is bothering me. Because when a student goes to a teacher with concerns of another student not being taken care of, that is something that should not be ignored.
Anything to them.
Okay, very good, very good. There is speculation or people that feel that what you're doing at this point is a form of grifting or exploitation. What do you have to say to those people that feel that this is what you're doing?
I feel like that's one opinion versus another. You know, it's not my intention by any means. There's plenty of people who use social media as their platform to try to build their lives, and I don't feel I'm doing any different than that. Okay,
I think that is definitely a fair
So what she's saying is because other people exploit their kids and go viral for it and get money, she's okay with also doing that, even if it is showing her kids being neglected and not being properly cared for 2.5 years. They're sleeping on the floor. They're dealing with lice and fleas and all of this being exploited so that the parents can continue to sit on their ass and have social media pay their way and buy out the Amazon wish list. They're redoing their Amazon wish list, by the way. What they got is not enough. So they're adding more stuff to the Amazon wish list because they see that fools on TikTok will buy the stuff for them.
Actually saw a video where you had aspirations of having a tiny home. And my thing is, if that is still your thought process, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, then a tiny home wouldn't be much bigger than where you're living at anyway. So was that a joke as well, or were you serious when you said that?
I mean, tiny homes it's a whole community. It's not something that I feel should be negatively looked at. It's making use of.
Nobody is negatively looking at having a tiny home if you are a single person or a couple, maybe even a couple with one child, but I don't even think that people that have one child look at tiny homes. It's usually a single person or two adults that look into tiny homes. So nobody has an issue with a tiny home if you can fit in the tiny home. But you're talking about doing the tiny home when you can't stop having kids. You can't stop laying on your back and reproducing. And these children need more space. And she tries to backpedal and say, oh, well, we're going to do the tiny home once the kids are older and out of the house. But that's, in fact, not what she was saying just a couple of days ago.
Smaller spaces instead of these abundant houses that just take over the environment. And I feel we definitely have talked more about maybe doing that when the kids are grown and out of the picture, because it seems like they do need a little bit more space. But,
okay, so at this point, you actually do want a bigger space then.
Oh, definitely. That's we're definitely working towards that.
Okay, so is it your stance that you just simply want to be a homemaker? You don't actually want to work?
I would
Because
like to own my
you
own
work,
business.
but you haven't said that you worked at all.
No, I would like to own my own business and be self-employed. I don't think that's not somebody not working.
Okay, but at this time you don't have a job outside of the social media thing, which you do understand is very up and down.
Oh, definitely.
I don't go viral every month. I'm just saying, viral moments are not guaranteed. And if the
So she wants to exploit her kids, make money on social media, sit on her ass, and probably not pay taxes. When you're a small business, if you're going to be a business owner, you have to really be able to make good decisions financially. And it's very clear that she and Drew do not make good financial decisions. So I can see them getting a bunch of money on TikTok, not paying the taxes, and then everything falling apart from there. Because they just don't make good decisions. They're like two lumps on a log.
The people want to know, because we've seen that people have been generous and have sent over bunk beds to the kids. They want to know, why is it that...
Okay, so this clip goes into why are the kids still in the living room? And she has no desire to put those kids in the safety and the security of the bedroom. They are not going to give up their bedroom. And this clip confirms it.
The bunk beds are not in the bedroom, and that they're still in the living spaces of your home. They kind of feel like mom and dad should probably be on a lit out sofa or a couch, and that these bunk beds would be very utilized inside the bedroom. What do you have to say to that?
I think for one, I think it's wild that so many people want to get into other people's homes and rearrange. I think that's why, because they don't know what runs well in our house, and they don't know why we're making the decisions we are. Mm-hmm. So it's mainly a space thing. They have way more space, 2 times the space out there.
Okay. And I totally agree with you. Like I have real issues with people that try to parent other people's children.
I really don't like how much grace this interviewer is giving her. He's not being hard enough with the questions. He's rambling too much. He's not being straightforward and direct. I really wish that this would have been a little bit more scripted and a little less nicey nice conversation, because Stephanie does not deserve nicey nice conversation, in my opinion, of course.
You know, God would really have to change some stuff, because I don't, believe it or not, I don't want another baby in this apartment. I want much more space for our kids, and it would be, I would have to have a completely different life to be able to just keep having babies. I think that this baby is probably going to be the last one for us.
Okay.
So that's the translation of, I want more space. I don't want to work for it. I want social media to pay for it. And we're still going to, no matter what house they're in, you better guarantee they are always going to take the biggest bedroom so that they can sit behind closed doors and smoke trees and make more babies. So now Miss Stephanie is big mad. Let's watch this clip where she tells everybody just how upset she is.
And I do remember seeing a video where he worked X number of hours to be able to buy the baby, was it unicorn shoes? I don't know how old that particular video is, but I saw a pair of shoes that he worked extra hours for. So is that a recent post, or is that something that's super old?
Yeah, that was actually our first viral post, and I think that was a little over two and a half weeks ago.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
So 2.5 weeks ago, she's confirmed that they are bad with money and they had trouble buying shoes for the children. If you have multiple children and you're able to afford recreational things that you like to do, don't ever sit there and act as if buying shoes is something that requires overtime.
So is it your stance that you just simply want to be a homemaker? You don't actually want to work?
I would
Because
like to own my
you
own
work,
business.
but you haven't said that you worked at all.
No, I would like to own my own business and be self-employed. I don't think that's not somebody not working.
Okay, but at this time you don't have a job outside of the social media thing, which you do understand is very up and down.
Oh, definitely.
I don't go viral every month. I'm just saying, viral moments are not guaranteed. And if the quality of the is social media, your plan A and plan B, you don't have a plan B at all. You said that you want to own your own business. What type of business are you interested in starting or becoming a part of?
I probably would sell like gluten-free baking goods, because I've been doing gluten-free baking for a long time, and I don't feel like there's much of a market for it around where I'm at. So.
Oh, okay. So you haven't began selling anything. These are just, you're still in the thought process.
I've been a mom for 9 years, and they've been my main focus. And as far as like me not having a backup plan, no, that would be naive. I'm not so crazy to think that social media.
She's one of those who says that she wants to do this and wants to do that and is thinking of this and thinking of that. Let me tell you, I would not drink water from this woman's kitchen. I would not breathe air from her kitchen. And she thinks she's going to do a gluten-free baking company? Please, lady, save it. So this is the really good video. She totally abandons the interview and everything, runs off the live stream because she gets confronted with using racial slurs. It's about a 2-minute clip. This is the icing on the cake.
The other one was, it's more so of like, why do you feel comfortable in some of the slang terms that you're using online?
What slang
Throwing out the N-word. Yeah.
I never used any of those words. I would never do that.
We got the screenshots.
We have the screenshots.
Your page.
I would never do that. We got the screenshots.
On Facebook.
Yes, ma'am.
Your page is open on Facebook, and yep, it's still in the comments.
She dropping the
You said
N-word?
I
N-I-G-G-A.
don't know
Yeah.
what you're talking about. When I was like, how many years ago was this?
That's kind of where it's like an issue
For
because
that.
it's
Where it matter?
yeah. Clock that. Clock it.
I don't know what I would
Tiffany,
like
you out
to
here
see
calling
what people
people
are
the
talking about.
N-word.
Love when people automatically are like, how many years ago was that? And try to say, oh, well, I was 18, I was 19, I was 20, I was da-da-da. But that doesn't matter. And we have the receipts. So the way that you were so quick to lie about it, and then you want to try to be like, oh, well, I was young, I was this, I was that. Like, girl,
That's what's tough, ma.
N-I-G-G-A.
Oh, and Marquise, just to defend this topic, since we've been together,
Just
Defend
because you
it.
screw a black man don't make you black. I'm sorry, Drew. I don't care what you say. The answer is no to that. The answer is no to because you're using the N-word as a white woman. I'm sorry.
There's no past.
No, there's a hard no for me, but I want you to go ahead. Go right ahead with it.
hold on. Marquise, can you hear me or no?
I can hear you. I'm waiting on this one, brother.
Oh yeah. Since I've known her, she's never used any kind of racial slur or anything. I've never
You got black friends too?
Facebook forever. I've never seen anything like that on her Facebook. I have to go down and look, see what's going on. I've never seen that or heard
Somebody
that
put
come out
up
of
the screenshot.
You built them. I can't hear them.
You want me to? I mean, I know a
Put the
couple of us
screenshot
have
up
it.
and I will be
Now, we're
happy to
gonna
put
go.
you in the big
We're gonna
box.
go because I would like
nothing like a good old receipt.
Okay, hold the line.
Nothing like a good receipt.
Did somebody say hold the line? I can't.
She go.
She did that. Y'all still? I did say hold the line.
Hold the line.
Do you still want it?
that was all she wrote. She ran off the live stream. I can't. There are some other clips of that live stream, but those are kind of the ones that I wanted to share with y'all because some of the other people on this panel were asking her questions and they were being a little bit too soft. And I felt like the interviewer was being a little too soft on her too. But what a disaster. What a freaking disaster this has turned into. When I first came across this couple, I thought, you know what, I'll make a couple videos. Maybe they will take off and either get off the internet or stop making this kind of content. But I very quickly realized that they are thriving off of the negative attention, and they are also relying so heavily on the people that are sending the Amazon packages and leaving heart emojis on videos and saying ignore the haters in the comment section. So I don't know. If she's got support like that and she's still making content, I'm going to continue to cover this dumpster fire. But like I always say, I feel for the kids, and I think this will get worse before it gets better, unfortunately. She's talking about doing a random lice protocol because she knows that their house is filthy.
Once we got back home, I wanted to make sure I washed the girls' hair. Just to be on the safe side, I did do a little bit of lice protocol, and I made sure to spray everybody's pillow with some bug repellent / pillow spray. And for dinner, we
You don't do random lice protocol because it's a random Sunday night. That's not something that people do. So that tells me that the lice issue is not over if you're randomly doing lice protocol. Either way, what a mess. Let's move on for today. For now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.